Why do you think the offense struggled the way that it did tonight?
Well, part of it is they're a very good defensive team. They're switching on and off the ball. It just forces you to, make the right read at the right time. They kind of bottle you up with their physicality. Their bigs are down the floor, and it's tough to kind of get open threes. Their length at the rim. But they're a very good defensive team. I thought we kind of fell into that at times, and we started to stagnate. Some of those possessions were, I think, haphazard, and we didn't own our spots at times. Guys got into us. We got pushed around a bit, but we've seen that before. I think it's just one of those things we have to continue to work through. Was very little difference, in the second group. That fourth quarter, obviously different personnel, but just the energy we played with, I thought was better.
Halftime like after second quarter in which you scored another one?
No, we show clips as we normally do. Just kind of talk through some things, some situations. Offensively, touch on some things I thought would help us, to kind of combat some of the switching. And I thought we generated some decent looks, but, struggled to make them. Obviously, the offensive rebounding was an issue, especially in the second half. But, I think it's one of those things where we just have to kind of continue to keep fighting. And I thought we did that into the third and fourth quarter.
Once you just kind of mentioned the energy for a second there, I wanted to know what you thought about in the beginning, because, you're hoping some of that carried over from the Sixers. It seemed like those first couple of minutes you had it, and then it seemed like they got away a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's not for the lack of effort to begin the game. I just think we got a little discouraged when, you come out and they make it tough. They make everything difficult. And that's where we just have to kind of got to push back. And that's okay. I think at times when it gets tough, we give in a little bit. You get away from some of the things and start shortcutting routes, and you don't own your spots, and that really stagnates the offense.
You mentioned kind of stagnating the offense. How much of that is a snowball effect when you don't see shots go in, and you guys had 11 in the second quarter? How much of that just snowballed for you guys?
Felt like quite a bit, but I think that's part of it. And then on the flip side, you at times can play solid defense, and good players make tough shots, so it's deflating. But that's where you have to have that mental fortitude of, okay, continue to do the right thing, continue to try and play the right way, and good things will happen.
What made Ayton so tough? Was it just the pick and roll with CP3?
Yeah, I mean, that's his bread and butter. He's the benefactor of a lot of that, his size and ability. And obviously when he, was able to set up shop and be big at the rim, he's a problem.
Thomas Bryant, was putting up good numbers in his bench role, and now as a starter hasn't been scoring quite as much. What do you think adjustment he needs to make to kind of get back to what he was doing a couple games ago?
Well, I think with him coming off the bench at times, you're playing with a different group, and whether it's the starters or there's obviously a pecking order, and you're not probably getting the same looks or we're running the same actions, but the flow is going to feel different. And that's just one of those things where you're in that different pairing, finding that synergy, find your balance, find a rhythm with the group that you're on the floor with.
And rebounding quite a margin in their favor. What went wrong with the glass?
Well, a lot of the offensive rebounds, thankfully, they didn't capitalize so much. But, I think some of that, too, is we missed so many shots. Of course, they're going to have, more defensive rebounding. But the offensive rebounds, yeah, it's just more of a mindset. You can't ball watch. You've got to get in the mix. Their bigs do a terrific job of collecting offensive rebounds. So it's got to be a mindset that all five get in there.
Went gapped a little bit there in the third quarter. Was that just looking for something different, or was you wanted to get him in? That was kind of the game plan. I know he's been shortening that rotation.
No, it was just something different. I mean, I think same with Davis, and we weren't playing well, and I just wanted to change it up and see if that energy would help spark something.
Any questions for Coach on Zoom? All right, coach. I think that's it.
I appreciate it.
Obviously a tough night for you guys offensively. What made it so difficult out there tonight?
I was spacing. I feel like we wasn't spacing enough for people to either get good looks or to get driving lanes. A lot had to do with like our screening. We're not screening to get a lot of people open. It's a lot, just playing basketball really. We don't. I feel like we lose ourselves a lot when we find ourselves down. Someone has to be the hero, and we out there just taking bad shots, and not playing for each other. I feel like that's our biggest, that was the biggest offensive like letdown tonight.
How would you just describe the mood of the team right now, the vibe, having lost 7 in the last 8?
I mean, who wants to lose 7 out of 8? The vibes, and everybody's trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out what's going on with each other. What's going on the court, why we can't play with each other. A lot of things. It's going through everybody's mind. But that's one thing we can't let dictate. On the court action. Whatever it is, you gotta leave it once you touch that court. We playing for each other, lose, win, or draw. So we got to get back to that. I feel like.
How do you guys get back to that?
Like I just said, like just letting whatever you have, going on, mentally, physically. I mean, physically, you want to get that checked out, get it worked, get your treatment and stuff like that. But mentally, you just we gotta let some things go. We can't hold on to the last game or like what the last person did last minute. We can't let that dictate, the rest of the game or like the flow of the game, which we, sometimes, we do have that flow, but, it gets out of hand and we lose control of it, and then we get back to what we, normal to, just playing one-on-one ball and not team ball.
You just kind of mentioned it a little bit, kind of letting things go. How difficult is that, when you're down big at halftime and still kind of come out with that juice and same juice and energy that maybe you would have had if it was a closer game? I imagine it's probably tough to do so.
I mean, we done it before, being down big, you seen the fight in us that we fought back, came back, we can do it. We just, with us, it's just consistency. We don't have that consistency when we are playing. And that's one of the big things, that we emphasize is consistency and then communication. Like it's a lot slips with communication. And I don't know what it is. We love talking to each other, you know what I'm saying? But when we get on the court, it's like no one talks to each other. So it's that communication, it helps a lot. It takes away, it helps on the defensive end, knowing getting people, getting guys in position, to defend, or help. And then offense, just talking everybody through it. If someone don't know it, talking through the play, tell them to cut, get out, do this. We just don't have that consistency in the communication and just consistency of just, I would say, just playing hard.
We hear a lot about defensive communication. Who's like the best in the league at that? Like when you're on the court, it's like they make a major difference with their defensive communication.
I mean, it's guys that tune into the defensive end. It just feel like who watch film a lot. Know the coverage, the team coverage. The guy that's it just pimp like pointing out everything pretty much. I don't think we have that on this team. That's someone that can do that. And it's just, I feel like, we slip a lot on that as well. Not being able, like, knowing personnels, that takes, like, a big part into the game as well. Like, because if coaches are laying it out for us, we're not paying attention to it, then, of course, we're going to have them slips up. But that's what we have to get better at, just as far as, like, communicating, consistency and just playing together. Like, we really I don't know if it's due to All-Star break, trade deadlines or whatever it is, contracts, whatever it is, a lot takes into, the mental part. The game is more mental than physical. So we got to be able to, let go of things and just play basketball. It's just basketball.
Neil?
KCP, when you talk about the communication and lack thereof, has that been something that's come up recently in the last couple of weeks, or kind of just, throughout the entire season has been something you guys needed to improve?
I feel like it's been throughout the season. That's something where we has to strongly improve in, the communication. And also just, like I said, I want to keep repeating myself, but the consistency of that, it helps on the court, just being able to talk to someone, like get them in the position. Like now, I'm talking to this person, now he knows like I need to be in this position next time, so just communication on that might get my teammate his juices running, his intensity going. So it's like if I'm talking to him, he know what to do and moving. Now I got his intensity going, you know what I'm saying? And just trickle down to everybody else. When you see someone just playing hard and they know and they doing it with effort, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, I was like, I don't, defensive wise, I don't care if you mess up. Do it hard. You know what I'm saying? If you in your position and you go for a steal, you miss it. If you playing hard, we cover for you. You know what I'm saying? You playing hard. So I don't think we have that a lot on this team. Like it's just far when one guy's beat is, do I help? It's a lot of like indecisive of the communication and help.
All right, I think that's it, KCP. Appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Obviously a tough night for you guys offensively. Was it more their defense, or was there something you guys could have done differently to score more?
Man, honestly, I don't know. Something that we're gonna have to go back and look at the film and kind of put in perspective of what they was kind of doing. But I don't think we was ready to play once the ball was thrown up. They jumped out on us in the early lead, and they really didn't look back from there. So at the end of the day, and we can't just keep cruising in the games. We got to be ready to play once the ball is thrown up, and we're gonna need everybody on our bench to be ready as well. So like I said, we can't really just cruise in the games and think guys are just gonna come in and kind of check our temperature. So.
Why do you think you guys weren't ready? I guess how specifically weren't you ready? Was it energy thing or preparation?
Man, I don't know, but I'm tired of hearing the energy thing, bro. Like if you can't energize yourself or fire yourself up to be able to come here to play the game of basketball, bro, which is your job, and you make a lot of money to do it, brother, then you're in the wrong field, man. So I'm tired of hearing that, bro. Like that's just an excuse. Simple as that. Like if you gotta have somebody pep you up or fire you up in order to get out here and play basketball, bro, that you make millions of dollars to do, not going to a corporate job. Millions of dollars to play the game of basketball, then you're in the wrong profession, bro. You already lost.
President, how is the communication on the court with both ends?
I mean, obviously it's not there. As you can see, when teams go out and score easily as they do, they move the ball, hopping around, and they end the possession with layups and walking in for dunks or just wide open shots. Obviously the communication isn't there. And as far as the offensive end, I feel like we're just trying to do too much. I mean, we need to just play within our system, let the ball flow around, swing around, hop around like we did in Philly, because we shown that we could do it. And withstand those type of efforts and withstand those type of runs, man. We don't need nobody, including myself on the team, to try to play hero ball or try to get it back out in one possession, man. We got to do it as a collective group on both ends of the floor. Simple as that.
We talked a little bit about defense and communication, and you, like you just said, you guys have done it before. You guys have done it for long stretches at the beginning of the season and in spots there. How do you find that consistency?
I don't know, brother. I don't know. I'm trying to do the best I can, from a leadership standpoint, as far as our team goes. But it's not, something that, I feel like I'm going to have to figure out, or, one person on our team is going to have to figure out. It's going to have to be a collective group, not just players, but coaches as well. But at the end of the day, man, we don't have much time to keep going through these trial and errors and, you know, trying to figure it out because at the same time, man, we're piling on losses, man. And, you know, this both sides of it, East and West, you know, this is tough. It's a tough year for everybody, man. Guys dealing with injury, guys got COVID, you know, sitting time that you had to sit out from the COVID protocol, man. So there's a lot that goes into it, man. So the way that we started out at the beginning of the year, yeah, it was great. And like I told you at the beginning, bro, it was because nobody knew us. You know, nobody knew what our identity was, bro. But after you play those couple of games and now you're playing the teams over and over again, you know, we're seeing them more times than once, man, that they have film on you. They know what you want to do. They know what you try to get to. So we got to stop going into each game thinking that, you know, every game is going to be like the last game we played because it's not the case. So, I mean, that's just what I feel about the situation. But, you know, somebody else on our team or somebody else in the locker room can see something differently. But, you know, me, myself, I just feel like we're going to the game thinking that, you know, the set plan or whatever we have, you know, laid out in that instance of that night is just going to be what works, you know, and that's not the case, man. We got to learn how to, you know, play on the fly, make adjustments and, you know, be able to, you know, fix it and try to correct things, you know, once they happen. You know, I just feel like we just, you know, kind of stay with, you know, I guess what we're trying to make work, I guess, you know.
These last 7 or 8 games, losing 7 of 8, just kind of what's the mood of the team right now as you guys try to get out of this and get back on track?
It sucks, bro. That's the mood of the team. It fucking sucks. We're coming in here and, you know, teams are basically, you know, beating our ass, bro, from start to finish. So it sucks, man. Nobody likes losing. Everybody in our locker room are competitive, minded people and, you know, love to compete and get out there. But, I mean, it just sucks right now because, like you said, you know, out of the 8 games or the last 8 games we played, you know, we lost 7 of them. I mean, and it's tough for anybody to kind of, you know, withstand or be able to kind of, you know, have on their plate. So, you know, that's the energy in the room right now. It just fucking sucks. You know, but I don't think nobody in the locker room has, you know, quit. You know, I don't think nobody in the locker room has given up. And I think we're more so just frustrated trying to figure it out and, you know, trying to understand what really works more so than anything. But, you know, my perspective is, you know, it just fucking sucks. You know, being in the locker room, coming in, you know, night in, night out, and, you know, it's ending with a loss. You know, I love to, you know, compete. I love to win. You know, I love to, you know, be able to help my team win. You know, so I think that's, you know, the overall engine in the locker room right now.
All right, Trez, I think that's it.
Sounds good.